A warm welcome to all the students of 5th semester BCom and BBA program on the subject Entrepreneurship Development or Entrepreneurial Management. In this session, I'll be covering the unit topic which is from the unit to small scale industries, that is tiny, ancillary and cottage industries. The contents which will be discussed in this session are meaning of tiny enterprises, ancillary units and meaning of cottage industries. We shall also understand role played by tiny, ancillary and cottage industries. We shall discuss the most likely questions from this concept in your examination. Let's understand the introductory aspect of these enterprises. Tiny enterprises. A unit is treated as tiny industry where the investment in plant and machinery does not exceed rupees 25 lakhs, irrespective of the location of the unit. Tiny enterprises are easy to start because it involves very less investment, and many people who are into traditional businesses or family owned businesses start as tiny enterprise. In the image you can see it is on wood processing industry. Machines usage is very minimum. Such unit depends purely on human skills or labor force. So tiny enterprises gives a large scope for employment for many people in both rural and urban areas. Now let's understand ancillary small industrial units. An industrial undertaking which is engaged or proposed to be engaged in the manufacture of parts or components or sub-assemblies or supplying not less than 50% of its production to other units for production of other articles. And there's one more condition whose investment in plant and machinery does not exceed rupees 100 lakhs, that is 1 crore, is to be treated as an ancillary unit. In the image you can see several machines which are being used in ancillary unit for either groundnut oil mill, which plant crushes 3 tons of groundnut in 24 hours and produces 1000 liters of oil. Manufacture of mini oil mill plant and machinery to produce the various cooking or edible oil. These machines are used to manufacture and they supply the components or parts or tools to other parent unit or medium and large scale industry. So this industry can hold the status of an ancillary small industry if it supplies a minimum 50% of its product to another business. It can be even the parent unit. They can produce machine parts, components, tools, or standard products for their parent unit, or they can also supply it to other medium and large scale industry. So therefore, let me repeat the conditions. Out of the total manufactured components or parts, at least 50% of the production should be supplied to other units. And their investment limit, in the previous class I've explained the investment limit of an SSI should not exceed 100 lakhs, which is 1 crore. Hope you've understood the meaning of ancillary small industrial unit. Now, let's get into understanding of cottage industries. You can look around the images. The first image you can see the pickles being manufactured. A pickle can be easily manufactured at home or residence. Next you can see decorative lamps being manufactured or decorative puja materials being assembled. They all are handmade and assembled and packed and sold. Next, you see a woman engaging in cleaning, assorting of spices and dry fruits. So they are processing cashew nuts, which is being processed. Do you find any machines being used? It is all based on human skill. See, in this image you can identify most of the women labor workforce are engaged. So let's now understand what are these cottage industries. It is also known as traditional or rural industries. These industries are not covered by the capital investment criterion. It means we just discussed for tiny unit, maximum limit is 25 lakhs. For ancillary unit, maximum limit is 100 lakhs. Whereas for cottage, it is not covered by any capital investment criterion. So let's understand the characteristics of these cottage industries. They are organized by a single or with private resources. Your single refers to sole proprietor. As I mentioned, they use family labor and local talent. They use very simple instruments or minimum usage of technology. And the capital investment is very small. They make simple products which we require for our day-to-day requirements. And they use traditional or indigenous technology if required. Hope you have understood the examples. You can write many more examples in your examination, including homemade sweets, confectionaries, which can be easily manufactured and sold by cottage industries. Let's move on, dear students. Now we move on to the next level of understanding is export-oriented units. Let's look into the image. They all are into cargo, shipping, maintenance, shipbuilding, right? These units are focusing on exports. Now let's understand the meaning. This industry can possess the status of an export-oriented unit if it exports exceeding 50% of what it is manufacturing. It can opt for the compensations like bonus given by the government for export and other grants given by the government or awarded by the government for export-oriented units, which is popularly known as EOU apostrophe S, EOU. Okay, so hope you have understood. Export-oriented units, their focus is on manufacturing and selling 50% of their total production at least to other countries. So it will be passed on to other countries either through roadways, which is impossible because the export orientation takes through waterways, that is cargo. Okay, neighboring countries we can use roadways if the connectivity is well established. Otherwise, we can opt through airways and waterways. Let's move on to understand the next unit, which is village industries. You can observe they are into weaving, okay, and the weavers are well trained. They are family owned business. They are into khadi, cotton, and so many other industries which are primarily focused in village. Let's understand what they are. The industries which are located in rural areas and manufacture any product or performing any service with or without utilization of power is called village industries. As you know, one of the problem in our villages is interruption on power supply. They do not have 24 hours backup of power supply. They have poor infrastructure. These industries focus on labor or manpower and they use very less utilization of power. So let's see what is the investment limit. They have fixed investments on capital as per head, workers and artisans, which does not exceed rupees 50,000. So village industries can be easily started with basic and minimum requirements, which has become a major source of employment to the rural population. So hope you are following the difference what we have discussed till now. Let's move on. Okay. Now what are the advantages to sum up with all the type of industries or units which we discussed? So let's discuss advantages of ancillary, cottage and tiny industry. They generate employment opportunities. These units or enterprises generate lot of employment opportunities. So they help in eradication of unemployment. and they make effective utilization of local available resources. They bring in balanced regional development between both rural and urban areas. They help to develop into multidiscipline expertise in various fields or different fields. They make and mobilize unutilized resources or unexploited resources of the country. They act as a symbol of the nation's products being produced. So it leads to growth of low cost economy. Therefore, these sectors help in employment opportunities. They increase in production of small scale industries. They can be easily started with limited capital. They effectively utilize the local resources. And dear students, you can further write in your examination about eliminate economic backwardness of rural and underdevelopment regions in the country. They bring backward areas into the mainstream of national development. They ensure equal distribution of national income, wealth, and consumption. It is asserted that small scale industries will lead neither to sweating nor to inequitable distribution, but will result in a large and more widely distributed sharing of the productive function and therefore to a more equitable distribution of the produce of industry. Hope you have understood the advantages of ancillary, cottage, even export oriented units and tiny industry. With this explanation, you will be able to answer the following questions which are most likely expected in your examination. For section A, you can expect a question, an answer to the question, give the meaning of tiny enterprises. Next, give the meaning of ancillary unit. What do you mean by cottage industry? Remember students, whenever you give the explanation to this question, do add relevant examples. And you will be able to answer the question for section B. Explain the advantages of ancillary, tiny, and cottage industry. So therefore, you can answer even a question, what do you mean by export-oriented units? Hope this session has helped you in clear understanding of the concepts and you will be able to write your examination and prepare well. Thank you, dear students, for watching this content. Hope it is definitely helping you. Thank you all.